All right, part 2 is our career. We're going to look at our job, what we would like to do. So first we will take a deeper look at what kind of job you would like to have. If you aren't sure yet, that's okay. Pick something that sounds interesting to you. Depending on the career you choose, you will need to decide how many years of college you will need to attend. There are some jobs that you may not need to go to college. If this is something that you're interested in, let me know. But otherwise, first list your career and your partner's career. So, you need to decide your careers. If you're working alone, you can ignore the second person. And then what city would you like to work in? Maybe you think about what city you want to live in, and then where do you want to work in? Maybe it's the same city, maybe it's not. And once you have picked a career, I want you to just do a Google search for a person in that career. So if you, for example, want to be a doctor, find a picture of someone in a lab coat or something to that effect of a person in that career. Or if you want to work for a certain company, if you know you want to be an engineer and you want to work for 3M, you can send me a picture of that logo or whatever. Because eventually you're going to be creating a poster, which I showed you in class, showcasing what your life, you and your partner's life could look like. So once you find a picture, email it to me. Make sure you put your name on it in the email, and then send me that. And then check the box once you have emailed me that picture, or 2 if you're with a partner. Continuing on in our career, once you pick your career, you need to figure out how much it's going to cost for school. Now, some of you spent a lot of time during looking at this in advisory. We're just going to get an estimation. So we're going to play a game of chance and roll the dice. We're not sure how much financial aid you might get or how much you might get in grants or scholarships. So we're going to roll a dice to see how much you end up with in loans. The number you roll will tell you the amount of money you will owe after college. Record your answer in the box on the right here. So if you're going to the military, if that's the path you chose, Army, Navy, Marines, all those branches, you won't have any loans. They will actually pay for your school afterwards. If you want to go to be something that only requires a 2-year degree, a technical college or community college, these are some examples. The etc. means there are more. So if yours is not listed, let me know, or you can ask how many years does a blank need for college. So if you're going to roll a dice, if you roll a 2, for example, you would have to pay $9,000, so you would write over here $9,000. If you roll a 12, you would have to pay $12,000, and you would write that over here. You have to roll the dice and figure that out. If you're going to a 4-year college, to be like a nurse, a teacher, a business person, an accountant, a paralegal, a philosopher, something like that, there's plenty of more degrees that fall under there. You're going to have to pay a little bit more because you're going for 4 years instead of only 2. Again, this is just an average. It's not exact. And then if you want to do something that requires 4 years of college plus 2 or plus 3 more, to be like a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or a dentist or a veterinarian, something like that, even more for school. So roll the dice. I have some dice for you. If you need one, let me know. So you should only have 1 number recorded here, or 2 if you have a partner. So the partner will roll dice once, and you will roll the dice once and record both there. And then add them both together. Add you and your partner's school loans together. So you should have 1 big number here that you'll have to owe. That's the total that you have to pay back. So the length of an average student loan is about 10 years. Normally it takes 10 years to pay back the loans because you're borrowing it. So take the total cost of schooling, this number up there, for you and your partner, and divide it by 120 because there's 12 months in a year. And that's over 10 years, that's 120 months. That will figure out how much you pay per month. And you'll put that number right here. Then, last part here for our career is to do a Google search to find the average salary, the median salary for the career you chose. How much money are you going to make? So one spot is for you and one is for your partner. Just do a Google search that says median salary for, and then fill in the blank. and then add them both up, total of both salaries, and you'll put that number in this final blank. Now I know this looks like a lot, but all this money that you make back here isn't all money that you get to keep. You have to pay taxes. So it says now, you don't get to keep all of that money, you have to pay taxes. Figure out which tax bracket you are in. And these are approximate, they're not exact, because it is a little bit more complicated than just a straight up table in real life, but this is a close approximation. If you have a partner, add your salaries together and look in the partners column. So you hopefully already have them added together. So you need to figure out where does your range lie. If you're working with a partner, only look at this column. If you're an individual, meaning one person, you're in this column. So if I'm with a partner, I might be, our salaries together might be in this range. So I would have a tax rate of 18%. But you need to decide based on you and your partner. And then our last step, convert your tax percentage to a decimal by dividing it by 100. So I would take 18 and divide by 100, and it would give me 0.18. If yours was something different, you'd have to use the other rate that they have there. Then take your salaries and multiply it by the tax rate. So whatever salary you have times 0.18. And then subtract this from the total salary. So our total salary was that initial amount right there. And we're going to subtract that number minus this number over here, what we just get. You're just subtracting to figure out how much you're actually going to take home. The original minus the taxes that we're taking off. And that's how much they'll take away, but that's over the year. So we need to figure out how much per month are we actually going to take home. So divide by 12, take whatever number's there, and divide it by 12 to calculate how much money you will take home each month. So I will go through this in class as well, but take this one step at a time. If you need to rewatch the video, feel free.